I honestly have no idea if this is even going to work. Okay, I think it says we're live, but there's a little bit of a delay. So we'll see. Does it say anybody's watching? 0 viewers. Let's see. Okay, looks like we're live. So, hey guys, this is Helena Hart, and I'm here with my friend and the amazing coach, Nicole Elissa. Say hi to everyone, Nicole.
Hello, everybody. I'm really excited to be here today.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys caught that, but right as I was pressing start broadcast, I'm like, I have no idea if this is even going to work because I've never done this before as a Google Hangout. So can you guys see us? And okay, oh look, looks like people are watching. So this is working. Awesome. Can you guys hear us too? Looks like you can see us. Can you hear us? Just type it into the chat. So today we're really excited. We just kind of decided to do this last minute. We're going to be talking about how to demonstrate your value to a man and inspire him to pursue you and step up in the relationship. And we're so lucky to have Nicole on today because she's just an expert in this topic. For those of you who don't know, I'm sure you guys all know Nicole already. We've done a bunch of videos together, and she's a transformational love coach who helps women own their worthiness and irresistibility so they can attract that man and relationship they've always wanted. So let's see. Yes, I can hear you. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I was like, I'm still a little nervous about this. I've never done this like this before on my channel. So Nicole, let's just jump right in if you want. What is the number one way to demonstrate your value or to own your value and your worthiness so you can convey that to a man and inspire him to step up in the relationship?
Well, the number one thing that you want to do in this case is that you want to really connect and honor your own value. Does that make sense? Because it needs to be an internal connection where you are so committed to honoring yourself, your love for yourself, your love vision. And when you're so clear about that, that energy just shines and it starts to attract a different type of level of commitment in a man. There are certain things that I believe get in the way from us really doing that. Fears, maybe fear that a man won't be interested, fear that he will be intimidated, fear that there won't be enough men out there that are really going to resonate with it, and what are the chances that you're actually going to meet with that person. But energy is simply energy, like attracts like. When you're in that kind of like fierce, just truly committed space towards yourself, then you start to attract more of that in return. Men can feel that energy because it's feminine energy at its core, knowing that you're worthy just because.
Absolutely. I totally agree. That is beautiful. And thank you guys so much for letting us know that this is working. Tiffany says, oh yes, Nicole is awesome. I totally agree. So hello to everyone joining. Thank you so much. This is so much fun. I'm hoping to do more of these. So I love everything you said, Nicole. That is just so powerful and beautiful. What would you say, and I don't, not to put you on the spot, you guys, by the way, that none of this is planned. We literally just decided to do this like a few minutes before we started. So I certainly have my own way of helping a woman own her own value so she can demonstrate that to a man. What would you say is like the biggest obstacle that gets in the way of a woman doing this, like truly feeling worthy and irresistible to that man and relationship that she wants?
Yes, this is a topic that I love talking about. It's when a woman puts her sense of value based on what other people think about her, and especially what a man might think about her. So let me give you an example in my own life. If I was interested in a guy and he didn't like me back, I would be like, oh, but what do I need to shift? Maybe I need to be this way. Maybe I need to be this other way, while not accepting my true, authentic light. It even, what was the most obvious case for me that it just invited me to wake up was when a guy that I was really interested in, and I was doing all these different things, waiting to see if he was actually going to see me. He actually ended up dating a woman that looked just like me and who had like the same like pursuits, etc. And that was like a slap in the face for me. I was just like, I've never seen somebody that looked quite like me like that in my life. But then it made me ask myself, so why is it that I was being hard on myself? Why is it that I was worrying about whether if he was going to like me or not, instead of just radically loving and accepting myself and celebrating myself, because I feel like that was one of the big differences that was going on. And men can feel that. Men can feel when a woman is comparing herself, worrying what he's going to think. Like, it's so important that we are in that space where we claim and we own that we are the prize and living from that space. So it's an inward journey rather than an outward journey about worrying about the guy.
I could not agree more with you there. Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of women I hear from, I'm sure you get this too, Nicole, they say things like, well, how do I show a guy that things are different now? How do I show him my value? How do I basically get him to do what I want him to do is like the undercurrent of what's going on. And so when we're talking about how to demonstrate your value, just like Nicole said, it's an inner thing. It's not something you have to say to a guy. I always say, you know, if a woman who truly knows her value deep down doesn't have to walk up to a guy and say, hey, I'm a high value woman, you need to treat me accordingly, and here's my list of how to do that. We hand people a script of how to treat us by this vibe and this energy that we give off, right? It's not something you have to explain to a man. In fact, if you get into explaining yourself to a man or convincing him, I call it going into convincing mode, that will actually decrease your perceived value in his eyes, because a woman who truly knows her value deep down just wouldn't need to do that, right? Nicole, do you agree with that?
100%. Simply because men already know the invitation that they're expecting to receive from a woman, and it first comes from essence, who she is embodying. And when we feel like we have to explain certain things to a guy, two things tend to happen. Either you explain it from a place where you're already defending yourself, you're already feeling hurt, right? And you're shutting down emotionally. Therefore, he's not really feeling you or sensing that energy in the first place. So if we were to embody the energy of being a queen just knows that she's worthy. She doesn't need to explain things. She just embodies the energy of, I should be treated a certain way because I am this way. So to embody that energy of just being a queen and raising the value in a man's eyes is first start treating yourself like a queen. But it's not an egotistical thing where you are like, oh, like I shouldn't pay attention to this person. No, it's deep, authentic self-love, knowing that what you communicate to the world with your energy first starts with your self-love and knowing that you're more than enough, owning and loving how unique you are, falling in love with yourself. When you are in that space where you're falling in love with yourself, or you've already fallen, and you're not worried about what the guy thinks about you or not. And that is a thing, because you are so connected with yourself that he feels inspired to pursue you, because then you are embodying the energy of being the prize, because you are not attached to him. Like, you're waiting for the best guy that's going to pursue you, the one that's going to show up and that's going to be the right fit for you. And it really starts with self-love. It's all about loving yourself and falling in love.
I love that. I love that. I love what you said too. Some Rockstar Fitness just said, I love that queen analogy. Tiffany says, puts the word being in a whole nother perspective. Become it, own it, be it, radiate love. Amazing, amazing. I'm just reading my comments off my phone. I don't know of a better way to do this yet, but I just wanted to say hi to everyone who's joining. Gwen, Sophia, Jennifer, Ed Marie, Janine, so many people, my goodness. Amy, Christina, Katie, Belle, everybody, Anissa, I just wanted to thank you guys for joining. This is so much fun. I hope that this all works out and that I can start doing these more, because I love live streaming and connecting with you guys. I love everything you said, Nicole. That was so brilliant. And I know what we wanted to talk about today for this topic on demonstrating your value to a man is honoring yourself. And I'm really excited because that's not something we've talked too much about before, at least together in a video. So I just love to hear everything you have to say about this topic of honoring yourself, what that looks like, and how specifically to do that so you can inspire a man to pursue you for a real relationship.
Yeah, honoring yourself is, in my opinion, is the most important thing. It's one of the things. I think there's an echo. I can hear myself. Wasn't able to hear myself before.
I can hear you. Everything's okay on this end.
Okay.
So,
Okay, I think, yeah, I cannot, yeah, it's all good now. So honoring yourself is the most important thing, because in that sense, you're really committed to honoring your own sense of like your value, your self-esteem, your worth. And when you are willing to honor yourself above all, that's when you're really in that vibration where you attract people who will really notice you, who will value you, who will be so connected and inspired and mesmerized by you, because you are in the state, like the emotional state. And it's a feeling. We talk about feminine energy. And I know that a lot of people try to understand feminine energy just through a mental plane, where they'll be like, okay, I need to do this to be more feminine, I need to do the other, and I need to do this, and I need to follow this 3, 4, 5, 7 steps. And they are in this space, but they're still here. And what you are actually seeking when it comes to honoring in a way that connects and that invites and that attracts, if we're talking law of attraction, it's a feeling. It's a feeling that moves you. It's not just a thought. And I'm going to explain what's the difference with what I'm trying to say here is, I'll give you an example. I've shared this story about before. I have natural hair. I have like an afro. And what happened with my hair was that everybody would tell me, no man is going to notice you if you have relaxed hair, no, if you have an afro, etc. I was raised with that programming. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand how much that really affected me, because I was not honoring myself. I was doing things that I thought a man would like, and I was not honoring myself. But it came to a moment where I would try to rationalize it. Oh, I should keep it this way, or maybe my mom is right. Dot 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 dot. But I was not really living. I wasn't honoring my truth. And it came to a moment. I remember one night where I said, "I'm gonna honor me. Really, really going to honor me. I'm just gonna cut it off." And I was scared. I was crying in my room. I even felt like I was about to have a panic attack, because imagine, beauty. Like, you're always told like you're beautiful this way. So imagine if you're going to do something and you think that's going to make you not beautiful, right? But deep down, I knew that it was all a lie, and I just had to honor my unique beauty, my unique essence. And when I did that, Helena, I mean, I remember having a call with my aunt, and she's, "You're going to regret this. You're going to regret this." And I was like, "Nope, I would rather honor me." I was scared. But you know what? I woke up that next morning and I just took the scissors and I cut off the hair completely, and it was gone. And I just said, "Whew, I'm free. I'm going to honor me." It's more important for me to honor me than to like sacrifice myself for other people. So it was an emotional thing that led me to take an action that freed me, that helped me feel more alive, beautiful, connected. And because I embodied that state of just being so connected with myself and honoring myself, the next thing I knew, men were knocking on my door, inviting me on dates. But before that, crickets. I was having men that were judging me, that were telling me kind of what to do, but I chose me. And when I chose me, I started to attract people that were really going to honor me.
Amazing. I love that story. I love every time you share it. It's so funny. I was in an appointment earlier today and I totally thought of you, because there was this quote on the wall, and I'm not going to get it right. I'll have to take a picture and send it to you. Something like, a woman who was, about to cut off her hair is about to make a huge liberating change in her life. And I totally thought of you, because that's what men loved about you after that, right? They loved your natural hair. They would make comments to you about that. Do I have that right? The very thing that everyone said, no guy's going to be attracted to you if you do that, right?
Yes, exactly. So here's it, and it showed me like I rule my life. And I want everybody to know that you rule your life. As a queen, you get to dictate like what's in style, what isn't, what works for you. And when you embody that energy, you tend to attract men who are like more connected with that. But the one of the biggest points that I want to make here, and I want to address this, is when you are going to make this statement for yourself, there's a difference from letting a feeling rule, like move you and inspire you, than trying to defend a point about your honor strictly from a mental plane. Does that make sense? when you are like, I require a man to treat me this and this and this and this way, and you're kind of like saying in a defensive space. A lot of women don't realize that they're using this energy, this shield, to protect themselves, and they don't feel safe 100%. But then they're blocking themselves off from love because their heart is not open. They're not fully connected and embodying their light and letting it shine, right? And they're speaking more from their mind than from their heart. You can be firm from your heart, but what I notice is that energy attracts more of that non-committal energy. When you speak from your heart as a queen, moved by feeling, by emotion, and you keep your heart open, that's when you're in alignment to attract men that are aligned for you. Not when you're like putting up walls and defense, because the energy in of itself is one that is closed off.
I love that. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. My cat Leo is probably about to join us here in a second. I always talk about just what you said, the importance of keeping your boundaries on the inside, right? Feeling so strong, so secure, knowing your value on the inside, which is what allows you to be really soft and open and feminine and in this receptive mode on the outside. That's the distinction there, right? If you're going through life with these walls up, no guy can really get close to you. This is the second piece of this. This is how you inspire that man to pursue you, by having really strong boundaries, honoring yourself, knowing your value on the inside, and then being soft and open and receptive on the outside so that a guy can actually get close. And there's something to like compel him to come towards you, to compel him to keep pursuing you. Nicole, do you agree with me on that one?
Oof, yes, because what you might not realize is that if you talk to a man from this really defensive space, or like let me tell him straight sort of thing, the energy is still closed off. The man cannot feel you, therefore you're not inspiring him or creating an invitation. It's a wall with words, and it's more of a masculine interaction, and you're just going to meet him at that level, at a masculine level. It's not going to be inspiring. So it's really, vulnerability is in many ways makes you strong as a woman, like being able to communicate your heart through feeling and sharing that and keeping yourself open. That is when it becomes an invitation and not an attack or a defense mechanism, or basically a message to just leave you alone. Even though a lot of women who do this, they want love, but they feel like they have to protect themselves because love, quote unquote, like this energy of like love hurts. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to choose to live with your heart open. Like people, like men need to see your light, your unique essence. They need to feel it. And in that space, it's an invitation, and it's what inspires them.
I totally agree. Another thing I always say is I haven't actually talked too much about this before. That's why I love talking to Nicole, because like new things come up. If you want a man to, if you want him to pursue you, if you want him to feel inspired and activated to step up in the relationship, that part of him has to be participating, the emotional part. And everything that Nicole's saying is so true. When you're connected to your own heart and your own intuition, and you're able to communicate from that place, now that emotional side of the man is participating, because that's what inspires him to drop down into his heart. And now the two of you can really connect. It's not this mental connection. Of course, having a mental connection and a physical connection is great. I always say those are great things, but that's not what inspires a man to truly fall for you and want to pursue you for a real relationship. So I love everything you said. Just want to say hi to everyone else. There's so many people commenting. This is great. Kay Marie says, I'm happy to be here. Hi, Lauren, Jewel, Diana. Sophia says, when I come across a guy who doesn't value me, I simply say next. Amazing. Someone asked a great question. What's the difference between honoring ourselves and coming off as entitled? Nicole, I'd love to hear everything you have to say about that.
Coming across or being entitled would be my question. So it's, okay, let me connect with this because this is a good one. Honoring yourself is important. Certain people will consider you being entitled, and that's totally okay. if a man cannot respond or give to you in the way that you would love to give, then that's okay. That's okay. You get to connect with the man that wants to give that way. Okay. And some people might try to attack you because they're not so connected with their own sense of self-worth. They have their own things going on. So it's really important to not pay attention to that, because I know what it is have people criticize you, but you have to embody self-love. You just have to. So some people will be like, who does she think she is? It's like, hello, like I'm embodying full self-love. And I'm doing this for me, you know? I'm doing this for me, because if you're not doing this for you, then you're betraying yourself. Then entitlement for me is going to a man and saying, oh, you should be doing this for me, this, and this, and this, and this. And that's it's not feminine or empowered feminine. It's more an energy of telling a man what to do. But it's not something that he's going to want to respond to because they want to feel inspired. So let's see.
I love that. I love that. It keeps switching back and forth for some reason. I don't know why, but I can hear you great. Hopefully everyone else can too. I love, that was a fantastic answer. Hello to Brenda. Sharon says the hair thing. Yes, I'm natural, but I straighten my hair. Lauren says, I work a lot in corporate America. How does a woman effectively transition from that masculine energy to feminine? Great question, Nicole. I'd love to hear your like response to that. What I would say from my perspective is just takes practice, right? You can really just notice. It starts with awareness. Where are you up in your head thinking, bringing that work energy into your date with a man, and where are you in your body? You know, where is your awareness in your body and in your emotions? It just takes that awareness. And it's not so much like switching back and forth. I like to think of it as this like fluid thing. You can use your feminine energy in work and in, you know, areas of your life like work. I do it all the time. That's kind of like an advanced concept, but just go, am I up in my head? Everyone watching right now, go up in your head and start thinking, start obsessing about a guy. It's easy to do, right? Now drop down into your body, really notice some sensation in your body. Maybe there's like a tightness in your shoulders or your stomach or something, and you can feel the difference. Now go back up into your head and think about the guy, and now switch back into your body. This is something I have my clients do so they can really start to feel, when am I in my feminine energy and when am I in my masculine energy, which can actually block a man's desire to pursue you and block his love, right, Nicole?
Yeah, I agree. And I believe that you can be feminine at work. I believe feminine energy is very inspiring. It's very community oriented. So you're willing to listen, you're willing to cooperate, and you don't need to be in a masculine space to do those things. So you can be feminine at work. And it's actually more effective. It's more harmonious.
We should do a whole video just on that because I have a million things to say on that. It's a really, I did a whole program called The Feminine Art of Attraction that's using your feminine energy in all areas of your life, not just your love life. So powerful. Let's see. Sharon says, I'm going out with a great guy tomorrow. I'm going to dress with my hair curly. Thank you for sharing your testimony. That is awesome, Sharon. Let us know how that goes. Amazing. Tiffany says, one is from pure, genuine love. The other is from a mentality of better than. The difference between entitled and knowing your value. It's a totally different feel. I agree. Hello to Janet. And let's see. Janine says, I refuse to straighten my hair. My curls are part of my natural self. I've learned to love myself as the beautiful person that God created. That is amazing. Beautiful. I love it. Let's see. What do you do when a man doesn't verbally communicate with you as much as you'd like? I'd like to process things through talking and checking in, and I feel like he's not interested in that. Nicole, what do you have to say about that? How would you have one of your clients verbally let a man know that she'd like more contact? Really depends on the situation. If you want to type more in, are you exclusive with this man? Are you just dating? How long have you known him? Those are important details for us to know.
Yeah, those are important. Those are important details. Okay, let me see what I can do here.
Yeah, you know what? I think if I click on you, it'll just stay on you. We'll say, thanks for hanging in there with us, guys. We're just learning how to do this. So yeah, Nicole, anything you have to say on that? How to let a guy know that you'd like more contact?
Communicating from your heart. So that looks like, I really love connecting with you, or I really love hearing from you. Like I love the tone of your voice. I love hearing from you. And it just makes me feel so close to you. And I would love to hear more from you, because it makes me feel, not only it makes me feel more connected, it makes me feel closer. I would use feminine words and I would speak from my heart. So instead of actually going up here, is what I would say, and thinking, okay, what do I say? I would be like, okay, so how does this make me feel? Like, how do I feel when I am connecting with him and checking on each other? It makes me feel close. It makes me feel connected. It makes me feel like we're in it together. And I love that feeling. I love feeling like receiving, like, or feeling him or feeling his presence, and actually being vulnerable enough and sharing that and asking. Like you love to experience more of that. Share how it makes you feel. You can share how you love connecting already, and what you get from it, and how it would make you really happy. It's not a demanding thing. It's just, can I just share something with you? And I notice that I really love connecting with you. I notice I notice how I feel when we do it. It feels amazing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I would love to experience that more. It would make me feel really good. Connecting how it feels, rather than getting up here, sharing your heart, because that's the invitation, that's the inspiration.
I love that. I couldn't have said it better myself. That was amazing. You know, you can feel the difference when you're communicating something because you're trying to make a guy do what you want, right? Which always just pushes him away, has the opposite effect, versus when you're just communicating like, this is something that feels really good to me, and then seeing what he does with that information. I love that. I love it. Janet asks, all my life I was guarded in my heart in the past where I've been hurt. How do you know when the time is right? Great question. My perspective on this is, keeping yourself open, keeping your energy open, doing everything Nicole talked about at the beginning of this video is actually the way to protect yourself most seriously. It's kind of a common misconception that being vulnerable means opening yourself up to getting hurt. And that really couldn't be further from the truth. If you're doing it this way, we're keeping your boundaries really strong, honoring yourself on the inside, being soft and open on the outside. When you're able to do that, what happens, I've found, is your intuition kicks in, right? When you are in your feminine energy, you have access to this amazing superpower that we have as women, which is your intuition. And then you can really feel like, okay, is this a good situation for me? Can I stay here? Or does something about this not feel good? And I want to take a step back. But you stay open in that process. A lot of times what happens when you're used to kind of guarding your heart is you're kind of opening up in front of some people and shutting yourself down emotionally in front of others. So you're opening and closing constantly. And we can all tend to do this, where if you can work towards staying open 100% of the time, your intuition kicks in, and now you're kind of online. You can really feel your perception clears up. One of the first things that happens when you get into your feminine energy, your perception gets kind of unclouded. I don't know if that's a word, but and you can actually see this man and this situation for who it really is. So don't confuse vulnerable with being like weak or unprotected, because in my experience, it's the opposite. It's the way to protect yourself most seriously. Nicole, do you agree with that, or what would you like to add on that?
100%. Because energetically, what you're saying is, I am safe. When you are choosing to be open, it's first a choice. And you're saying that you're safe, meaning you're going to get to know how to trust yourself, and also trust the universe that it's guiding you. So the ego or the fear in you will have you close up, but the truth in you, whether you want to look at it as your soul or your like feminine energy, your essence, will have you be like, I was born of love. I can allow myself to have love. And when I choose to be my own power, then I can pick up on whether this guy is good for me or not. When you are in fear is when you might avoid listening to the signs and then end up shutting down either way. But you have to be real with yourself, understand your value and your love for yourself fully, and just choose to know that love is for you. It does the opposite. When you shut down, you start to attract emotionally unavailable men. It's feminine energy and attraction all have to do with an energy of way of being. Now, there is a way in which you can shift this around, because I believe that what happens is that people confuse, like, oh, I had this opportunity and I got hurt. That means that I should close myself. In many ways, you can start to look at, how can I be grateful for this situation? How did it teach me how to love myself more? How can I be more clear about the type of men that I attract? But not by shutting down, but by connecting deeper with your intuition, with your feminine energy, and keeping yourself open. Because the more people are out there closed off and believing love hurts, but nobody's really allowing themselves to be the energy that they seek. So it's important to trust the universe, really strengthen your relationship with the universe, knowing that you are safe in making that choice. That will energetically align you with people that are in the right space for you.
Beautiful. I love that. I just clicked on your image because it was switching back and forth so much. I don't know why. Can you still see me, Nicole?
I believe it's because I can hear myself, and then and I think it might be from your computer.
Something
so when you hear the voice from my computer, it switches to you, I think.
I see. Okay, sorry guys. This is my first time doing this by myself like this on my end, so we're just getting good at this. We totally appreciate you sticking in here. I promise I'll get better. I'll get better at it. Someone says, lots of people wanting to know feminine energy at work. I would love to do more videos on that. So thank you for your feedback. Okay, let's see. When I try to feel inside around a man, it makes me quieter. I'm worried he'll think I'm not interested or I'm bored with him. What do you say to that? I want to lead with my heart and not my head. Great question. Something I always say is just standing there searching for a feeling is like the sexiest thing in the world to a man. When you can slow down, really slow down the tempo of every moment and just feel inside your emotions, in your feminine energy, and just search for a feeling. You don't even have to say anything. Just that shift going from in your head down into your body and in your heart is super sexy to a man, and just it's showing him that you're comfortable with that silence. You don't always have to jump in and fill those pauses in conversation. So I would just try it and see what happens. My guess is you're gonna notice a man opening up to you more. You're gonna notice him leaning towards you, feeling more attracted to you when you do this. Don't worry about a guy not thinking that you're interested. As long as you're smiling, making eye contact, being open and soft on the outside, he's gonna want to keep coming towards you. Nicole, right? Would you say this? Would you say that's true?
Yes, and being confident about being in your feelings as you're with him, because that confidence plus feeling your feelings is a powerful invitation, but it also inspires him so much more, because I'm feminine, period, right? And then it makes it really like even more exciting for him.
I totally agree. Yeah, Sharon says, I usually talk, but the more when I'm in my masculine energy, I'm trying to lean back and be available. Yes, you're welcome. One of the top things I hear from clients, and just you can see it in the comment sections of a lot of my videos, they say, when I just lean back and stop trying to jump in and fill that space, even verbally, a man will just start to open up. It's true. You know, a man would just love to be with a woman who's comfortable with that silence and isn't always trying to fill in that space. And we can all tend to do this. It comes from a really good place of just wanting to keep the conversation going and make sure he's comfortable and having a good time. But just as much as you can, try doing that. I think you'll get a great result with that. And we'd love to hear from you. Someone says, how or when do you share with a man that you want to casually date, keep your options open until you both feel you want to be exclusive, allowing you not to attach too soon and find the one? Nicole and I just recorded a video on this. if he hasn't asked you to be exclusive, you don't have to say anything. I would just assume you're dating and keep your options open. If he asks you to be exclusive and you want to make sure you're on the same page first, you can say something like, it feels incredible to be with you, and I love the thought of being exclusive with you and us being together. And for me, what I'm looking for is fill in the blank. I'm really looking to be in a committed relationship that leads to settling down and getting married one day, or whatever that is for you. This is what I'm looking for. And, until we decide we're on the same page, it would feel good to just keep dating. Hopefully that answered your question on that one. Nicole, do you have anything to add there?
Let me see. I love what you said, and I totally agree. I would be like, what I want to add to that is, because I would say the exact same thing, is that to just be confident in that, because you're holding the energy of being the prize. And that is it. That is an invitation for a man to pursue you, to step up, right? And not adding any sort of feeling of like, is this wrong to say, or how to, like, worrying about it. This is where we're talking about honoring. So if that's really what it means to honor yourself right now, then you come at that conversation from that space of honoring, and that is it. Like, it will make the difference.
I love that. Beautiful. Yes. And Lauren, to answer your question, this applies in relationships too, not just the early stages of dating. Honoring yourself, knowing your value, and demonstrating it through your energy and your vibe, and by what you are not willing to accept and what you're willing to accept. This applies all throughout the entire course of your life, right? Something I always say, Nicole, I'm sure you would agree with this, is you kind of teach people how to treat you by the behavior you're willing to accept. Right? So a woman who truly knows her value, truly honors herself deep down, would never tolerate bad treatment. She'd instinctively feel turned off if a man was not treating her well or was unsure of his feelings about her. She would just instinctively get bored and lose interest. And so this applies throughout the course of your entire life. From my perspective, Nicole, what would you say about that?
It's true, because it's what keeps you in that energy of being the prize. And it makes you feel so connected with yourself, connected to honoring yourself, which is the topic of this video. It's feminine energy at its core, knowing that you're worthy just because, and from that space you honor it, and you kind of like show reverence to it, to yourself, like you are in that space that keeps you being the prize, so that you don't ever forget. Because I know a lot of women who tell me that they tend to feel like they lose themselves inside of that relationship. They started feeling really great about themselves, but then whoop, like they kind of like dropped it, right? And they're wondering like, but what happened? And it's just important to always have that going. You having that relationship with yourself is the most important thing, and trusting the universe as well, so that you are always connected and you know how to treat yourself right. Because when you are in that space, you inspire the right man to want to treat you right as well. I feel like a lot of men sometimes can mimic, if they notice that a woman is treating herself a certain way, they can mimic the way that she treats herself. Like they can mimic that energy. So if you treat yourself with reverence, with just deep honor, and they will mimic that. They will want to step it up.
Beautiful. I could not have said that better myself. That was amazing. We both have to go at 5:45, which is in 2 minutes. So I want to make sure that we wrap this up. If we didn't get to your question, I tried to get to all of them. There were so many people commenting, which I love, that I might not have gotten to everyone's, but maybe we can do another one of these soon. Allie, I saw a question about how to let a man know he hurt you. My next video I'm going to publish either tomorrow or Sunday will help you with that. It's called When a Man Disappoints You, Do This, or What to Do When a Man Disappoints You, or something like that. I'll give you a whole new way of looking at this, hopefully. So let's see. Oh, you're welcome. Tiffany, Lauren. Christina says, going on a first date on Sunday, feeling pretty nervous. He's expressed what he likes, dislikes, and will do for me in return, watching your videos to refresh, leaning back but still nervous. Oh, amazing. Yeah, let us know how that goes for you. You're probably going to be nervous like right up until you actually get there, and then you'll just remember all this stuff, hopefully be able to lean back and relax and see how all of this works. So I see some other questions here. We have to run, but I would love to do this again soon, Nicole. This was really fun, and I'll hopefully get better at it. There's like a lot going on this end, but yeah, thank you so much. And in the description of this video, there's a link to Nicole's website, NicoleElissa.com, and her free gift, which is the Beautiful Woman meditation, right? Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about that, Nicole?
Yes, it's a clearing. It's a meditation and an energy clearing that helps you really like honor yourself more, because it's all based on self-worth. So it will help align you more with attracting like higher caliber men, like men that are really into you, because you're really connected to that space of just honoring yourself. I personally love it, and I've heard so many comments from women who are like, wow, like I feel so much better, like just by listening to it. I listen all the time, and I just feel more and more aligned. So I definitely invite everybody to listen to it.
I've listened to it. I thought it was amazing. It was very helpful for me personally. So everyone go check that out. It should be in the description right now, if not when this replay posts. And if we didn't get to your question, I'm so sorry. It's actually 5:45 on the dot right now. So we both have to run, but I would love to do this again soon, Nicole, if you want. This was so much fun. And thank you guys for joining. Have a great weekend. And hopefully we'll see you guys again sometime soon. And Nicole, thank you so much again.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to read all the comments now.